Welcome to Tech Bytes and News, your daily roundup of articles featured in Hacker News. Today, we're diving into Ricochet, an anonymous peer-to-peer instant messaging system. It's a fascinating project, isn't it?
Absolutely. The whole idea of metadata-free communication is incredibly appealing, especially in today's climate. But how exactly does it achieve that level of anonymity? I mean, it's not magic, right?
Right. No magic involved. It leverages the Tor network's hidden services. Your login is essentially your hidden service address. Contacts connect directly to you via Tor, bypassing any central server. This peer-to-peer architecture is key to its anonymity.
So, no central server to be compromised? That's a huge advantage. But how does it handle the challenge of connecting users without revealing their identities? It sounds like a complex routing problem.
Exactly. That's where the rendezvous system comes in. It's designed to make it incredibly difficult to trace connections back to individual users. It's a clever piece of engineering, really well thought out.
I see. Interesting. So it's essentially using Tor's anonymity features to mask the communication, but with a clever twist to prevent metadata leakage. But the GitHub page mentions it's experimental. How much should we trust it?
That's a crucial point. The developers themselves emphasize that it's experimental. Security and anonymity are incredibly complex, and no system is foolproof. They explicitly state, and I quote, "Do not rely on Ricochet for your safety unless you have more trust in my work than it deserves." It's a strong warning, and we should take it seriously.
That's a very cautious approach, and I appreciate the honesty. It's refreshing to see developers acknowledge the limitations of their work. So what about the practical side? Is it user-friendly?
Surprisingly, yes. The GitHub page highlights its cross-platform compatibility and ease of use for non-technical users. They've clearly put effort into making it accessible, which is a significant achievement given the complexity of the underlying technology. It's available for Windows, Mac OS, and Linux.
That's impressive. And what about development? Is it open source? Is the community active?
Absolutely. It's open source, licensed under a permissive license, and the GitHub repository shows a healthy level of activity. There are over 3.8K stars, 401 forks, and numerous contributors. The project seems to have a dedicated community.
That's great to hear. The active community and open source nature increase transparency and allow for independent security audits, which is vital for a project focused on anonymity. So overall, it seems like a promising project, despite its experimental nature.
Precisely. It's a bold attempt to address a significant need for secure and private communication. While it's not a silver bullet, Ricochet offers a compelling approach with a strong emphasis on user privacy. It's definitely worth keeping an eye on its development.
I agree. It's a fascinating project that pushes the boundaries of secure communication. Thanks for shedding light on Ricochet.
My pleasure. And that's all the time we have for today's Tech Bytes and News. Thanks for listening, and we'll catch you next time. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.